Quarterfinals day, the penultimate day of competition at the Kosovo Russian Open. It is China versus Russia. FANG on the right of screen against SKACKOV. And well, they have got to this stage by beating the first round. FANG beat Kuzmin of Russia. He was really tested in the first, but then it was fairly easy from then on to a 4-0 victory against Kuzmin. He dropped a game against Boravang of Turkey before beating him 4-1. SKACKOV had much more trouble, and one of the guys he played against, the Japanese in the first round, he beat him 4-2. This was Kei Mayuchi, and on that occasion it was fairly tight. In fact, even at the end, there were 11-9s, 11-9s. In fact, it was 13-11 in the third game. So it was very, very tight. Mayuchi put up a great battle, but in the end, he succumbed 5-4-2. Even closer against compatriot Lakiv, 4-3. And again, the match full of very close encounters, 11-9s, a 12-10, and the last game was 11-4 in favor of SKACKOV. So he came through strongly at the end. He has got a better record than his compatriot has already got through to the semi-finals, so whether or not he can do it against FANG, I'm not so sure. FANG at the tender age now of 20, at the age of 17, was in fact a world junior champion in 2009 in the singles, doubles, mixed doubles and team events. So he was the world champion at one event and literally swept the board without losing one single match. It was quite an extraordinary achievement for the 17-year-old. Here, the shot at the moment, we have SKACKOV, and of course the flags of the teams that are involved here, and we've got a really, really impressive array of talent on show. And on the adjacent table, in fact, we've got Susin against his compatriot. And I think it's going Susin's way at the moment, but I can't confirm that. But here's our referee umpire for this one. It's Valentin Ponomarayev, and he's assisted by Evgeny Chikishev. And there, the Russians will be hoping they get two in the semi-finals. It'll be a great achievement if they can, but they've got a very big talent against them. Very, very difficult to beat FANG. I've got with me Gavin Rumgay, who has been really, really enjoying himself, not playing this week. He normally would be expected to play in these tournaments, but he's here helping me as the expert in commentary. Gavin.
Thank you very much, John. Another fascinating game that we have in store here, and I had the privilege to watch FANG in Suzhou in China in the World Tour a couple of weeks ago. He put up a brave effort in that one, losing out closely 4-3 to Dmitry Ovcharov of Germany. So he'll be hoping that he can march through to another semi-final. But who's going to stand in his way? It is Kirill SKACKOV of Russia, who hopefully has been inspired by his teammate, who managed to win 4-3 in the last game. So this all bodes well to have another good matchup here. It's China against Russia in GAC Group World Pro Tour.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a question mark against FANG. The only time you mentioned Ovcharov, that was in the Harmony China Open in Suzhou. 4-3 was that one, but he also, in the one that I did in Korea, just a couple of matches before that, he lost to Jorgen Pearson. So in the most recent times, he's lost twice to European opposition. No, you never know what that does mentally to a person, but it was a 4-3 again in that one in the round of 16. So Jorgen Pearson, well, he's one of the former world champions, of course, and one of the great players of all time. But you know, for a youngster like FANG to lose to him, it just shows there is an element of caution and weakness in somewhere there. But anyway, he is a fantastic talent, and I'm sure he'll be favourite for this one. But we'll see whether or not the Russians, Kirill SKACKOV, can really please the local crowd here and see if he can put on a good show. It's going to be fascinating. Okay, the big wind-up attacker. We know the forehand is dynamic. Double.
SKACKOV has had some amazing matches in the past.
First off, he comes up with that pile driver forehand, and it is something to behold. If he gets it on the button, watch out, dynamite. Two forehands, 2 points. He is talked about as one of the great prospects for Rio, and of course Sin is amongst those as well. So we might just get them matched up a little bit later, who knows. Missed it.
Shapes up with great intent there. The racket is almost right behind his head as he winds up. Just missing on that occasion.
And be a fortune there for Russian. 3-all. Well, we've seen 6 points, but already we've seen they've already revealed their big guns. Fang Bo particularly for his forehand. SKACKOV's serve is very unusual.
With that service, he's just looking to get a little bit of side spin, top spin on the ball, which makes it difficult for Fang Bo to play to SKACKOV's wide forehand. Obviously, clever thinking from the big Russian as he looks to play a lot of backhands in his style of game.
Oh, lovely. Perfect, that's exactly what you said. That's what was delivered. Right on cue. You should make a commentator, Gavin. 4-all. And he's quick to attack from that forehand side as well. He's a good player, is SKACKOV.
Wow, that was very flary. It looked like he might hold on short, play with a little bit of deft touch, and then he used, he utilised that little bit of flair to go wide forehand.
He's doing really well. Fang Bo is struggling a little bit. Things are not on quite his terms at the moment. There he comes up with that absolute raking forehand. It is such a dynamic shot. 6-5. Six-all.
SKACKOV won't want to be losing too many of the backhand exchanges. That's a little bit loose early on, but yep. I suppose it's the opening stages of the first set, but both players eager to try and nick that first set.
Yeah, Fang Bo is just... He's not seeded. He's got 114 ranking in the world compared with the seeded 3 from SKACKOV and world ranking 43. So now Fang Bo, although he is not up there, he certainly is. It's an impressive matchup. We're seeing some great skills on display. Second place in the Euro top 12 as SKACKOV. So he won't be giving this away easily.
A good change of direction. First serve in the sequence of 2 went to the short forehand. Second serve, very, very different. Long backhand with a big backspin chop service. On as even, 8-all with Fang Bo stepping in.
flick backhand there caused the problem for SKACKOV. He was there though, and he will be disappointed he missed the target.
He's reminding himself with some positive body language though that that was the right play.
Yeah. And then he misses one close at the net for 10-8, and that is now game point to Fang Bo of China. The 20-year-old is, well, he's certainly showing class, way above his ranking in the world. He's got lovely touches. So, 8-10. SKACKOV facing game points. Oh, and that's the edge, and it's 11 points to 8 in the first game then in favour of Fang Bo of China. And although he raises his hand in apology, he'll be pleased with that. He started out well enough with that big forehand, but SKACKOV showed us a lot of thinking play. The way he was putting himself around the table on that first game shows that he's not going to give this one up without a big fight. And I don't think he's going to lose 4-0.
We have to remind the viewers this is a long match. It's a war of attrition. It's best of 7. So it's important, even in the first end, that you can try and use the shots you're going to use later on in the match. Like for SKACKOV, going to the wide forehand. He's going to need to do that. He's then going to have to rely on winning loop-to-loop as well. A tough ask against one of the top Chinese players, but I know he's capable of doing it. We've seen that in the past from SKACKOV. He is a quality player. He is a talent. On the other side, we've got Fang Bo, who looks so similar to Ma Long, the way that he crunches that forehand, uses that free arm to point out in front, get that balance, and then unload these huge bombs on that forehand wing.
Of course, Ma Long, Zhang Jike, and now we've got So Thin, Fang Bo in that kind of new order coming through. They are quite stunning. I mean, in Colombia, in Cartagena de Indias, where he won everything across the whole board, people were talking about him as the next world champion in 4 or 5 years' time. He's not quite got to that level yet at 20 years old, but you know, I've actually got him down as a world ranking 97. He's right after that in February 2011, he was 92. So he's not making the progress we expected, but he's still there, and he's a huge force. He's got 1-0 in games. He's got 2-0 now in the second.
It's frightening to think that Fang Bo actually plays the qualification to some of these tournaments. He doesn't actually make the proper main draw
because of his ranking, world ranking. That was great play from SKACKOV. Did you see the way he pushed it with a lot of movement on the top spin into the corner? It was beautifully played. He's got a nice smooth feel about him. I like his style.
He's got a lot to offer, this big Russian, but a few worrying signs that he's lost the diagonal loop-to-loop exchanges forehand to forehand. He needs to start picking up some of those points.
Standing way outside on the left. It's 1-4 in the second. SKACKOV losing touch a little. Disappointing backhand flick there from Fang Bo. He's not missed many. It's a great service, that. It's very deceptive. Short, bringing his opponent in, and then by the time he gets his back to it, it's in the net. And a little bit longer, and he tries the backhand flick to no avail either. It's 6-2. 2-6 now. SKACKOV started well, but he's drifting back off the base. We like rallies like that. They build up momentum, and the crowd absolutely love it. Of course, here they won't like the fact that SKACKOV netted it. Oh. Again, dynamic anticipation there. Beautiful forehand, 7-2, 8-2 now.
His control shot, fabulous, and then to be able to follow that up with another good shot. Very well played.
Missed that one.
Don't mind missing shots when you're 6 points up though.
Another backhand miss there though. SKACKOV. He's got 4-8 against him, but what I like to see is that he's still very positive. His movement is positive. Oh, caught the edge. 5-8.
Celebrates their movement. Very, very good. He's played a nice little wide fade to the Fang Bo backhand. There's no way he's going to get a forehand on that one.
Well, he was already out there because he just made the service from that position. So. He'll be disappointed with that. He got into great shape. There wasn't a huge amount. I mean, obviously there was a lot of spin, but not a huge amount of pace on it. And then he just netted it. That was a crucial one. It's 9-5. Oh, he's done it again. Wow. That was a bit of cannons to the left and cannons to the right, wasn't it? Wow.
All eggs in one basket. Fantastic.
Yeah. That nearly rhymes as well. Ooh, a little bit of luck going Fang Bo's way. And that gives him 4 game points in the second. And is that? Who's obviously made the journey here, a long, long journey from Kuala Lumpur to be here to help us with the broadcast and the distribution around the world. So 11-6 then in favour of Fang Bo. It's 2-0. It's silence inside this gymnasium, the Palace of Sports in Yoralocha.
But what's impressive is that SKACKOV is still there mentally. He's kept focused, which is a good sign. It could quite easily have got frustrated at the moment outwardly, but he's not done that yet. He's not given Fang Bo that luxury. So he's going to make his opponent work, and he's going to try and find some way into this match. I think by playing with that backhand in the backhand-to-backhand direction, that's definitely going to work against someone like Fang Bo, who's a little bit weaker on that wing. 2 games, both in favour of Fang Bo, but a new shirt for SKACKOV, I beg his pardon, and maybe some change of fortune as well. Go. Nice and fresh, ready to take on the 3rd game. Do you change your shirts a lot? No, but there is a player in Scotland, an older man into the veterans now called Ian McLean, who sometimes changes his shirt 5 or 6 times in a match.
That's good. Well, it certainly brought him the first bit of luck that he required. A lovely backhand down the line. Brought it wide, and it was going wider with the spin. Is that? No, one off.
Great little, we call that a little topspin kicker serve. The ball jumping and leaping all over the place.
No time to settle. You've got to really, really be very proactive. He misses that one. That forehand was fairly simple. And that means it's 3-1 in favour of Fang Bo.
It's starting to happen all too often. Errors on that forehand wing. He's not getting any confidence or success from there.
You can tell the way he responded to that error, he is a perfectionist. He hates missing anything.
But he's playing the game on his terms there. He's going in the backhand to backhand exchange, SKACKOV. That's where he's going to win.
Oh, nice work, SKACKOV. Excellent. Well, he's called himself back from 3-1 down to 4-3 in the lead. And he's got the service. That magic new shirt, you see. Oh, so unlucky. It was really well directed. Just a little bit too much power on it, pace on it. Good idea. I like the look of him, though. He's really, really solid. The only other one I've seen that's sort of Ocharov has got a feel a little bit about him like that.
For sure.
He's got the same kind of dimensions. He's got the same physique. And he's a boy from Kiev, of course, originally.
Both have that really strong mentality of staying in the match. This is best of 7. This is over the course of 50 minutes to an hour. Give yourself a chance.
It was just too dynamic, that Fangbo backhand. Just a bit too much on it. Good direction attempt from SKACKOV. 6-5 Fangbo, service with SKACKOV. Yeah. Again, he's just that millimetre quicker. There's a bit more on it than he anticipated there. And defence, yeah, that's why he's shaking his head a bit.
But if I remember rightly, in Suzhou a couple of weeks ago, he was in this similar situation against Ovcharov where he had dominated and then let that slip.
He did. That's exactly right. Yep, 4-3 it was. In the round of 16. Yeah, it was. 11-9 in the 7th. He lost it, yeah. Well, if he managed to scrape out of that one, that would have been a miracle. These are tough points to take. It was these are the points in mid-game like this. So vital.
Great change of direction and depth on that as well. It wasn't the sheer speed. He really did spin that ball up over the net. A bit of height to get it to the back line. Well played.
It did come off the back line. It was close. And of course, with that extra couple of layers of paint, you're going to get a different reaction on the ball. He went for broke there, and it came unstuck, unfortunately, for the Russian.
Must be so frustrating because normally he's so good in those loop-to-loop exchanges. I think he's 10-0 he's lost.
Good start there, though. It's 8 rather.
That's one of the shots that have just been developed in the last 2 or 3 years. Players stepping over to the forehand short and playing a backhand. Before, you would never see those shots.
Oh dear, right into the corner. He will be really upset with that. You have to say it was a great shot from Fang Bo to make it now game points. 10-8 he's got. But, frustrating. Just lost sight of it a little bit. Right into the body, I suppose. Difficult.
Needs just 2 serves now.
That's it. Oh, it's 11-8 in favour of Fang Bo. And whatever SKACKOV tries, it's been definitely returned, again with a little bit of interest, and Fang Bo, well, he doesn't want to repeat the dose of losses against the European players in the last few months. There's some pleading going on from the Russian coach, but little that he can do about it. I think it's consistency that's important right here. And I'm afraid SKACKOV is he's struggling a little bit to find it.
He's marching about at the back of the court. He's looking for a solution. Not finding it yet. But you know he's going to stick in. On the other hand, we've got Fang Bo, who's he's like a steam train. Very, very quick at the moment. He's out of the blocks, and every set he's getting off to a good start. So he'll be keen to wrap up things tonight, get through to the semi-final, get home, get a good night's sleep for tomorrow. So 4-0 is what Fang Bo is all about, and that's what he's thinking.
8-6 and 8. He could make it 4-0 with this next game. If you've just joined us, we're at the GAC Group 2012 ITTF World Tour. It's the Koltsovo Russian Open. We are in Ekaterinburg, and we are in the final match of our coverage today in the quarterfinal stage. We have a Russian, Kirill SKACKOV, who's playing with his back to camera here. He's 3-0 down against Fang Bo of China, and fighting for his life.
Weak execution again. Needs to start spinning that ball up, giving himself a little bit more margin for error.
No. It's a shame. It was developing, the rally was developing, but I think they've not played each other before, and he's just struggling with the attacking speed of his opponent. That's better.
Opting for a wide backhand serve, and that's the first we've seen from the big Russian.
Yeah, long serve there. That was good. He is varying it. Oh, beautiful. What a great, great flip. And lots of side spin as well. It's just a classic shot.
Beautiful. He was working with the side spin there. That's what made the ball fly right off the racket and down the line. Subtle changes from Fang Bo though. Moves the ball just 4 or 5 inches to the left. Makes it difficult.
Again. Every point we're seeing reaction from supporters from each side. There's a lot of good emotion going on around this table at the moment. Got one Russian already into the semi-finals. Mikhail Pekov. I think it's probably a little bit too much to expect this youngster to go through as well, but you never know. Not dead yet.
Showing endeavour, giving himself a chance to stick in the match. Now finds himself a point up. That's interesting. SKACKOV just pointing out there that Fang Bo served off of his neck and didn't actually put his hand up to say he did. So maybe a touch unsporting from the Chinese player, but I suppose it's the umpires that have to pick that up.
Came on him a little bit too heavy. wasn't a great angle on the backhand there for him. Just pushed it, tried to make too much of it. 7-6 though. Oh, now 8-6. It's 8. That's a really good shot.
That's the Russian backhand we know and love. Many players through the generations have been able to execute that.
Are you telling us there's actually a Russian style for that?
Russian players have always been flawless in the backhand area. Very, very strong, leading from backhand to forehand. Not so strong the other way from forehand to backhand, funnily enough. It's funny how different countries adopt different styles.
Not much wrong with his forehand there, Mr. Wingate.
Of course, as I say that, there we go, the commentator's curse. He suddenly looks up.
That was great. Hey, we won't hold you against that. He's got 4 game points. SKACKOV is not out of this. And he misses a forehand. Yeah, it is the hardest point to win. The game point or the match point, it's the big one. 10-7. 8-10.
Must feel almost as tough as, you know, when that sport at the Paralympics where players are playing with the football when they can't see.
That's right, yeah.
And
the five-a-side, yeah. With the bell inside the ball, it's quite extraordinary. Yeah, I had the privilege of covering that, a little bit of that, a lot of swimming. Oh, quite extraordinary experience. With table tennis, obviously, wheelchair and S10 class as well. It was great, and that is the game. It's 11 points to 8 in favour of Kirill SKACKOV of Russia, and he comes through with a very, very good display, very, very solid in his backhand, as we've heard from Gavin. And, well, he also surprised in the forehand as well. Just look how tall he is. He can reach well, and he's using that advantage well. He's got a significant advantage in terms of the reach against his opponent here. And I have to say that he's beginning to read him a little bit, and it's very important, isn't it? He's played now 4 games? Played 4 games against him, and he's just beginning to pick it.
Not a huge amount of credibility there for the Russian player, able to stick in the match, losing the first 3 sets, very, very convincing. You can see that 8, 6 and 8. Coming back, now, can he just build on that? Maybe nick the next set as well, and then suddenly Fang Bo will be thinking back to the times where he lost to Jorgen Persson, he lost to Ovcharov. It's a vicious circle.
He's not lost to any other Europeans in any tournament. It won't be, that memory will not be with him at the moment, I can guarantee that. But if he gets to 2, maybe 3, then you start thinking. But the boy with the pile driver forehand compared to Ma Long and Zhang Jike is in service at the moment. He's still 3-1 in the lead. And this is a forehand. Hello, that's nervy. Tight elbow. Oh, unlucky SKACKOV. Great recovery on the back.
Great reactions. Whoa. Wow, reactions of a cat. Couldn't quite get the second one.
Again, he went for it. Just missed out. But what I'm encouraged by with Kirill SKACKOV is that he is trying these shots. Again, but it's a low percentage, aren't they?
It must be frustrating because that is one of his, you know, most fluid shots. He would expect to make that shot 95 out of 100.
And again, it's going to be a timeout here. He needs it. This could be the last game. It's 4-1 4-1 in favour of Fang Bo at the moment. And the 20-year-old has recovered significantly immediately from that little blow, having lost the previous game. He now is back in control and he's forced a timeout. Not a lot to say except it's Fang Bo's game at the moment, isn't it?
Once you give the Chinese players a 3 or 4 point lead in any set, it becomes very, very difficult. It's like climbing Mount Everest from there, 4-1. But you know he's going to stick in. He will try. He's going to try and get this crowd back into the match. We'll see what happens. Didn't use his full minute there in the timeout, eager to try and get back into the match.
I don't think they'll be allowed to start immediately. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, that's good. Well, that's good umpiring. Why not? If they're both ready, let's get on with it. So, 4-1, Fang Bo. Yeah, good edge. 2-4. SKACKOV getting the crowd there. Yeah, you mentioned the mountains to climb. We are actually east of the Urals here, just in case you're wondering where we are, about 1,600 miles from Moscow, Ekaterinburg, and the 4th largest city in Russia. Whenever I set, it's got a history stretching back 300 plus years, so fascinating city. Well, what a comeback, 4-all, and that was a great timeout, you have to say.
That's when you love that there is the introduction of timeouts these days. It does. Adds to the game.
He's done it, another one into the corner. Lovely. It was a dummy, wasn't it? There was a lot of disguise there with that shot. Great, 5-4.
I'd moved off to the wide forehand as well there.
Yeah. And Fang Bo celebrates that one because he knows he's coming under just a fraction pressure here. He was entirely on his own at 4-1, and now it's tied up at 5s. And he's not holding back, is he, SKACKOV? He's going for everything.
It's a shame that some of these backhands are misfiring at the moment. Positive play from both players. Really going for it, because if they sit back, you know, the ball's travelling too fast to be reactive. You've got to step in and be proactive in this game. Service placement on Fang Bo's mind.
Oh, that was a big shot. Wow. We could see it on the TV there. It was just beautiful to watch the movement of the ball sideways.
Call that one the banana shot. You can see that for obvious reasons. Wow.
That was a huge amount of energy on that sideways. Yeah, he's doing well here. This is very impressive. And at 8-6, I tell you what, SKACKOV is beginning to put a little bit of doubt in Fang Bo's mind. Just a fraction. Oh, it's a big point to win. And it was off that famous forehand as well. The pile driver forehand is just not getting into a position to be effective at the moment. Off the net and away, that's 9-6.
A simple explanation for this can be as well, it can take 2 or 3 sets to get up to the Chinese player's speed.
It's getting up to the speed, but it's also getting to know what he can do to actually counter it. And that is being very, very effective at the moment. We remind you, Fang Bo has only lost to 2 Europeans before, and they have been very recent occurrences. Ovcharov, and that was in Suzhou, and Jorgen Persson in Korea, and they're both in the Pro Tour World Tour this year. 10-7 in favor of SKACKOV.
Heavy chops there, but SKACKOV going with the right play, trying to play short, wanting to attack first. That's what you do in these critical moments.
And a little bit of shoe tightening there, as he can also have a towel down as well. So this is almost a little bit of a timeout there for the ball. SKACKOV keeping Fangbo waiting. It's at 10 points to 8, and in fact, I knew the umpire was going to maybe have a little word there, Mr. Valentin Ponomarev. But it could well be game point here. Oh, he's missed it. Still got one more left. It's 10-9.
It's cagey stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's 20-year-old Fangbo against 25-year-old SKACKOV, but they're all got old heads on them. Oh, he's missed it. He has missed a driving, looping forehand that should have been the game. Well, relief for the Chinese bench, and Fangbo in particular, and what's to say he will now go on and take the game and the match. He needs 2 points for victory. SKACKOV will be really annoyed. Oh, it's a brilliant point from Fangbo. Absolutely superb. He was not going to yield there. He put down the gauntlet. The challenge was accepted by SKACKOV, and they really fought out a cracking duel at dawn, I think you could say that was. And the death was in SKACKOV. It went to the heart, that one. He's now facing match point against him at 10-11. Oh, and it's 11-all. Great play, brave play, you have to say.
If there's ever a time that his backhand is going to start working, it had to be then.
11-all. This is exciting stuff.
Wow, talk about leaving it late.
Oh, again, it's that unbelievable forehand. It was a chop forehand, wasn't it? There wasn't much to it, but there was a lot of spin. It went long, and he's going to take a little towel down as well there. In fact, he's going to take a timeout at match point in favor of Fangbo. And again, the Chinese, they know their tactics. They know how to win matches. They know how to cross the line. It's been a good match, isn't it? Really interesting.
But that shows us as well that Fangbo's taking no chances. There's full respect to his Russian opponent. He really wants this set. He doesn't want it to go back to 3-2 and starts to get twitchy, starts to overthink. So, yep, huge emphasis on this point from the Chinaman.
So, SKACKOV has had his chances. He's blown a couple of opportunities, and that is reflected in that score. 3-1 in favour of Fangbo in games, 12-11 in points. This could be the final point of the quarterfinals. We are at the Kosovo Russian Open, part of the GAC Group 2012 ITTF World Tour. And we're coming to the climax of this one, possibly. It's up to Kirill SKACKOV. Can he now defend his position here? He's got the ball. It's 11-12, match point Fangbo, China. Ooh, the let was caught. SKACKOV was going to continue playing. Here we go again, a reserve. And that's it, that is the match to Fangbo. He's won it by 4-1. And SKACKOV would be really disappointed with that. He changed his direction for the second serve. He applauds the crowd for their support. But ultimately, Fangbo will go through to the semi-finals. And that was a brave effort. There's only one Russian through to the semi-finals in the men's event. And that is Mikhail And he will certainly, he will be definitely playing with the heart of the heart of the Russians here, very much with him. It was a good battle, but ultimately Fan Bo came through as we expected.
And that leaves it very, very interesting for tomorrow's play, for the semi-finals and finals, as we watch another loop-to-loop point. But yeah, congratulations to the Chinaman. He marches through to the semi-final tomorrow in the last 4. It's going to be China dominated tomorrow, but it's still going to be fascinating because we have Mikhail Paikov, the local, the Russian, still in the draw.
There you go, that's our coverage complete then for the quarterfinals stage. Fang Bo the winner for China by 4 games to 1. I hope you can join us again tomorrow for all great action from the Kosovo Russian Open here in Ekaterinburg.